I'm Leslie with ArtInsights and ArtInsightsMagazine.com, and I'm in the studio with artist Mike Kungl. So we're going to go and we're going to talk to Mike Kungl about what he does and why he does it. And in the meantime, bear in mind that he and his wife Dina also do a lot of animal rescue, right? So their house is a little bit like a pristine, art-filled Dr. Dolittle house. We're going to go talk to Mike now, okay? Let's go. Okay. So I'm here with Mike Kungl, and I'm excited to show you his studio, him in his studio. And you spend a lot of time here. It's really early in the morning. Thank you.
You're
You're welcome. So tell me about what inspires you. I mean, how did you start painting the way that you paint? Where did that happen?
Well, Art Deco is a movement that took place between 1920 and 1945. Mm-hmm. It's a very streamlined, graphic, simple, elegant, and bold movement. And I think I just gravitated towards that just by nature. Mm-hmm. The forefathers of industrial design, Raymond Loewy, Henry Dreyfuss, poster designer A.M. Cassander, they just took general objects and graphic design and turned it on end. And that's, you know,
it was exciting to you from the time you were a kid?
From the time that I'd say when I was going to college and started studying art history, these things became relevant as to what my natural style gravitated towards. Mm-hmm. The Chrysler Building, the Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center. Mm-hmm. Those are monuments of Art Deco. Mm-hmm. And they stand apart from any kind of other architecture and design that there is out there. Mm-hmm. And that is truly inspiring to me. Mm-hmm.
And you have really clean lines and really, yes. You mix really clean lines and really rich color together.
Mm-hmm. I don't have this traditional methods of figuring things out like that. I'll stare at everything and then come up, be inspired by that. It could be a blue sky. Mm-hmm. It could be a swimming pool. It could be your dress. Mm-hmm. It could be
inspiring.
And your red hair.
Yeah.
I mean, that will somehow filter in, unbeknownst to me, into what I'm working on. But I do like to have it worked out. There is no deciding anything on canvas at all.
Right.
It is all done ahead of time, either in my head or on paper. But getting to that process is sometimes the entire game plan, is to get it down in my head or on paper before it goes on. There's no experimentation on the canvas, ever. Because
you do a lot of art for Disney and for, you've done Star Wars that's hugely popular. I mean, you sell that immediately.
Right.
So are those subject matters that have always mattered to you, or did you kind of come at it where the things that you loved, and then you took that and executed it within that construct?
That's a good question, Leslie.
Yes,
and the answer is all of the above.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I love science fiction. I love B-movies. I love fast food. Well, restaurants, diners.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, diners.
Yeah,
you know, vintage diners, the old fast food. You know, Bob's Big Boy and Norm's. You know, all that kind of stuff. Route 66. That kind of feel. All of that is very inspiring. So yeah, the sci-fi. I saw Star Wars when I was a freshman in high school. In 1977.
Very influential.
And it was hugely influential, right. But I never knew that it would cover a 30-year span. Do I have coffee breath?
No.
30-year span of art in my career to influence what I'm doing now. You know?
Right.
The influence was natural. Once I started appreciating Art Deco and the forms of architecture and design between 1920 and 1945, it was over. It was done.
Yeah, but you also have propaganda art, so that's kind of starting, because there's some nouveau movie posters that are propaganda, all the way through to the Chinese post.
Well, you know what? It seems like the political.
The propaganda stuff.
Yeah, the political issues. Communist countries, they had some really strong graphic designers.
Yeah,
you
beautiful.
Know?
Good people on their payroll.
I mean, it was meant, the propaganda posters, whether it be for World War II or communist countries, they were designed to influence.
And the color palette is
yeah.
too. So it's interesting. Did you ever study the power of color in terms of how it affects the finished look of your art, or does it kind of come naturally and you plan it out in your head?
I do a lot of research, but you know, a lot of this research has been done. So just by looking at it, you get it. It filters in and it filters out. Yeah, it happens with every industry. I mean, people, you know, man invented the wheel,
right?
And look at it now.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that just evolves. In terms of the art that I've created, I'm probably satisfied with 80%.
Oh, but you're one of those people who doesn't like to look at it after it's done.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I love my Buzz Lightyear. I love my Pixar.
Yeah, you do have a lot of your art here, so
it may be weird to say. But my own art inspires me after after I'm done with it. I like to look at it.
What's the next thing? How can I go further?
And right? I love to collect and display the art. But there are some times when I haven't accomplished what I'm trying to. But if I did bat 1,000 on my paintings, then I wouldn't have anything to strive for either. So I want there to be that 20% of, oh my God, well, I could fix that, or it could be better.
Or moving in the direction.
And moving in the direction. I experimented, it didn't work out, but it will, you know, that kind of thing. So. And
what's your favorite thing about the collectors when you meet them? Because you do go do a lot of shows and meet a lot of your collectors, and his art has been on Big Bang Theory and Big Brother, and there are a bunch of really big collectors.
Gilmore Girls, Beauty and the Geek, Star Trek.
Oh yeah! Wow.
You know, some movies, movies, big films.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. And so people know him, and people come up to you, and you have really serious fans. So
you know what? I think I'm a people person.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm very approachable. So the fact that we can talk about, it's just not me talking about my art. It's we'll talk about their kids or their drive to the show or whatever. That I think that initial meeting and camaraderie supersedes the art, because if they like the art and they like me, they'll buy the art. But it's just I like meeting people. I'm not a hard sell guy. You can buy something 2 years from now, or not at all.
Like it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's so many people that once you engage them in a public setting, and their children see how you're talking to their parents, everybody lights up. I mean, but I light up too. I mean, I want to see smiles on people's faces. Right. They want to. We crack jokes. Tim Rogers and I were doing a signing up in Sacramento at the train station, and I bought these little megaphone horns that were battery powered.
Just randomly.
Yeah, I found them at the toy store. I'm like, this would be fun to get people to interact with us if they're shy, not want to approach. So I gave Tim Rogerson one, and I took one, and what you do is you talk into it, and it changes your voice into an alien.
Various aliens, or just a specific? Just
a little, it's got 3 different tones to it. So it'd be like, come here, little girl! You know, and everyone was like, oh my God, what's happening over there? And before you know it, it's me and Tim Rogerson having this little conversation back and forth.
So much fun.
Yeah, with these little bullhorns, megaphones, alien voices, and everyone thought that was the greatest thing. So that was more fun for me than being there, showcasing the art and talking about it. Was the interaction with the people with those megaphones and the little kids talking. You know, I give the megaphone to the kid, and then they talk to their parents or back to me, or we have a conversation.
So what's next for you? I mean, there's some things we can't really talk about, but we will be actually covering when it's public knowledge. But what are you inspired by right now? Because the Chrysler Building. You were talking about how you stood.
Yeah. We just got back from New York. I did a small tour of the Rockefeller Center, which I always do. I never could spend enough time there, but we did get to the top of the building. But the architecture, the interior artwork, I just basically said, look, where can I buy a book that has all this in it? So I went to the gift shop, bought it, shipped it, and that way I didn't have to feel like I was gonna miss, because if I'm gonna go back to the Rockefeller Center, I'm gonna go by myself.
So you can sit there.
My wife can go shopping. I will go to Rockefeller Center.
Right.
We'll spend a day doing our own thing, so I can just sit in one spot for half an hour if I want and stare at something. That's how I appreciate things. That was very inspiring. It always is.
So you're kind of thinking about it, and it's kind of showing itself
Yeah.
in the new stuff you're working on.
Everything that I do, I like to draw things that, whether it's a bar of soap or a superhero, the bar of soap I want to be heroic too.
Right.
It's a heroic bar of soap.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. This has been really fun, and there's all sorts of there's a diverse collection of art images and subject matter that you work on. So if you have any questions or thoughts about Mike, then you can email me or contact me through ArtInsights. It's artinsights.com or artinsightsmagazine.com for more information. Thank you so much. And,
Thank you, Leslie.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye, Annabelle. Bye.
Thanks for doing the video, Leslie. Can I get you a martini?